Good evening, Arctech here. Something I like doing when it comes around is pretending I'm some games reviewer to my friends when Steam Next Fest comes around. So I've decided to get some video editing and writing practice in and make this. Here's 7 of the demos I've played and what I think about them. Let's start off on the low note. Chop Chop Inc. Well, I'm going to be more merciful than the humor that the game seems to try and flood you with in its dialogue and try to be brief. Honestly, most of it is a blur. In it, you're fired from your job and you start making stuff out of wood to sell in revenge. The crate that's your guide plays a conceited ass that's layered on too thick for my liking. As for the building, think of the mini games in Schedule 1, but all the work you're putting in only makes a single unit of what you're making, and it wants you to make a lot of the same things. It might be automated or something down the line, but the game wasn't appealing enough for me to get further down the line. There's better options. Now, for something that's a major step up in my opinion, this was a surprise. While gold mining isn't exactly an interest of mine, the mechanics of this game are. One thing I like about sim games like this is when they don't just hand wave things away. For example, yes, the shovel does do the video game inventory thing where you put it in your back pocket, but these buckets don't. You actually need to think about the best way to move things around and plan them out in a way you wouldn't have to if you could just shove 50 buckets of dirt in your pockets, like how many other games are willing to do. Then you process the dirt by dumping it in a gold pan, dipping it in water, and then shaking it like it's a poorly behaved kid whose parents drag them to the store. You're forced to listen to them scream and climb on the shelves while working your retail shift during the weekend, or that just might be a me problem. Either way, you shake things up, it's time to head to town to sell to this guy.
Well, if it ain't old Jad's grandson. I'll tell you what, if you got some gold to sell, I'll count it as high purity this time, but only 'cause it's Jad.
Oh boy, you're my friend's grandson? Well, allow me to commit fraud for you.
Looking for mining gear? Head over to the Martello shop other side of town. They got everything you could need. And hey, next time, bring me a whole bucket of nuggets.
Now, with that done, on to another very interesting concept. The store. Building off what I said earlier about the infinite pocket inventory that doesn't exist here, and neither does walking up to the cashier and just demanding he gets everything you want to buy. Select what you want, then go to pay for it. And now, something I wish more games did, the loading bay. You have to actually pick up and move the decent-sized equipment and move it into your truck. And then once we get back, we see something new. While we were out, our grandpa was setting up the machine we need in the place we designated. But it's not done. See, now we have to take the excavator, chain the last large part of our equipment to the bucket, with only a little bit of sorcery, and move it into place. Then we retrieve our new gear we brought in on the truck and finish setting everything up, including redoing the hoses so we're not feeding from the dry machine into the pond. Then we can get started. Like I said earlier, the gold mining part isn't really my thing, but doing this kind of construction in a factory game like Satisfactory would be amazing to me. Like needing to lay out the production lines and machines, then hauling different size components and placing and assembling them, needing to hoist them with cranes or other means to get them onto higher or lower floors, I would love to give that a try. Oh, also needing to repair the parts of the machines if they get worn out from use. I would like that, but it might be aggravating to go around inspecting parts for wear in a massive factory the size of a town or larger. Either way, I might keep my eye on this title just for the machinery. But now, let's look at something more explosive. I've seen this one all over YouTube. For good reason, it turns out. Who wouldn't want to man the big guns on a giant walking battleship turret? Now, you need to find your targets using positions given to you by observers, and the reconnaissance by both your flare rounds, updated intelligence from your own impacts, and ordered recon flights. Then find the direction and distance relative to your position on the map, plug all that into the mechanical calculator to find the direction and angle you need to shoot, load the round, pack in however many explosive charges you need, enter it all in, and send it. All for a satisfying crater on the map, with only some friendly fire. My only real issue is how useless high explosive rounds seem to be. The whole time, I was using the smaller impact, armor piercing ones, mostly because 1, they cost the same, 2, any target that require a special shell for me so far have required armor piercing to punch through their armor, of course. And 3, there's a good chance they're surrounded by friendly forces, so anything with a large blast radius is only going to make life harder for the people on your side. I might be missing something, but I felt like AP rounds were more than enough so far. There might be more justification for the larger blast radius rounds in the main game. Just remember, glory to Castile. However, if you're more in the mood for a direct fire solution, have you ever played one of the AC-130 missions from Call of Duty and wanted more? Well, Drone Sector is here to obliterate that itch. But with a couple of twists. Twist 1, you need to pay attention to ammunition. While you do have a good amount, the shots you take are limited. So it's generally advised you don't just hold down the trigger and empty your guns. Twist the second, it's up to you to command the ground forces. As the eye in the sky, it's up to you to tell them where to go, giving you a degree of control those side missions in modern shooters didn't. All in all, a fun time that I found enjoyable. But if you're feeling a more chill flight experience for right now, Luz Lagoon. A chill game with a rather cute art style. You're on your way to meet your Uncle Lou, who runs a delivery service, when a storm hits the islands and he takes off to find the reason for it. You use this vacuum-like device called a swirler to collect debris to repair storm-damaged buildings and equipment. On top of that, you have access to a seaplane to navigate the islands. I've been looking for a good open-world flying game for a while now, and while the flying is slightly more arcadey than I'd like, the speed and the feel of it is kind of nice for just a casual flying experience. Overall, it's a nice game, but I'm not sure if it's what I'm looking for right now. But keeping on with the chill game theme, Cat Mail Co. If you want a good game to wind down a stressful day with, I don't think you can do better than this right now. You play as a cat who's just started working at a post office. Stamp the packages based on destination, weight, and later based on if it's fragile or extra weighty, with those having their own storage rules. I'm more than sure they're going to add more rules further on down the line, but all of this is done with no pressure or time limits or anything. This is for you to do to your own liking on your own time. Given how stressful life's been lately, I think this is something I might need right now. But if you're looking for a different job as a cat boy. Catamon. My sister found a super rare card in her cereal box, so I became a garbage man to find the entire collection and earn $1 million. I'm wondering if they just tried finding how long they could make a title on Steam. Either way, it's a simple game. You grab trash, throw it in the compactor, every once in a while, find cards that you could give a scrub down to add to your collection. The ultimate goal, of course, being collecting all of the cards for $1 million prize. However, I've learned during this that we should prioritize employing alcoholic cat boys. Near the end of my time with this demo, I was demolishing mountains of trash between downing cans of beer to catch my breath. I went from being a struggling hungover cat boy to a buzzed garbage collecting cat man. While I don't know how it would really stand as its own on being a full game, for an hour or two, it was entertaining. Now, there were plenty of other demos I wanted to look at while Next Fest was going, and I was hoping to release this before it was over, so that if you saw anything on here, you could check it out yourself if any of them are doing those only for Next Fest kind of things. However, whenever I try making plans and scheduling, life loves telling me no. And this was just an excuse for me to test some software and practice working on videos. Who knows? I might make more of these for next time Next Fest rolls around, or just whenever I find something really interesting. Hopefully you found this somewhat informative. Thank you, and have a good night. Arctech, signing off.